Hi guys, and welcome back to Passport to Run!
If you're new to the channel, my name is Jack.
And I'm Lexi. We are here on this gloomy, what day is it? Today's Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. The struggle bus is real.
Oh girl.
Today we're gonna talk about why we started running and how we started running together.
Yes.
For whatever reason, I decided that I was going to do a half marathon. Don't know what possessed me to do a half marathon. Never ran before. That's just what I popped into my head. Like, it was not even on the radar, and I was like, I'm gonna do this thing. And I got a running friend. Shout out to you, Hannah, if you're watching. And we decided that we were gonna run the Wine and Dine together in 2016. So in July, I started the Galloway Method. If you look on the Run Disney website, they actually have training plans that you can follow. And did the training plan, I didn't quite follow the exact method that he does because I didn't understand the Magic Mile. And at that time, I didn't have a Facebook community like I do now to ask all of my questions. And I was just flying solo, and I knew I had to get the miles in. So my first Wine and Dine, first Run Disney race was probably the best experience I could have dreamed. And I insert this picture now of me in my costume before the race and also after the race. But it was just such a great experience.
You did amazing, and you finished it, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I totally was proud of myself, and I was like, okay, one and done a half marathon, let's move on with life. And then this one came along.
Sorry.
So I was talking about my experience, and then she got in her head, she was like, oh, that sounds fun.
Well, then you were like, well, why don't we do the Princess Half Marathon?
Mm-hmm.
And so, clearly, I did the Princess Half Marathon.
We did it together.
Yes. We were in, I think Corral F.
I think so.
Yes. And so, we were having so much fun. I didn't know what to expect, so I'm just like, yeah, everything's great. I thought my costume was going to be so big and loud. Insert picture. It wasn't. I thought, I didn't know what to expect. And then I look at all the other costumes and I was like, oh, next time.
Yeah. And it was so funny seeing the progression of our costumes over the years.
Yes.
Because we've, with each race, gotten bigger and more elaborate with each one that we do. So be prepared. Which is not foreshadowing.
She loves villains, though.
I'm obsessed. But anyways,
yes.
First race.
We started together and
we did not train together.
Yes. So we had no clue what our paces were. And I had only practiced up to an 9-mile run.
Oh yeah, that was the one that neither of us trained like we were supposed to.
And then once we quickly went through the start line, we realized it was fast, like within 2 seconds.
Yeah, like 0.1 of a mile.
That our paces were not gonna match up. And you even said you were the first one. I was kind of doing this right next to you, and you're like, it's okay, just go. And I'm just like, are you sure? Yeah, it's fine. So I will say this though, I couldn't have been any more thankful for her to encourage me to kind of go on, because I got to find myself in a very unique way of doing it by myself. I mean, it's great doing it with somebody, and we got to start together, which was awesome. But we were still there for each other. We got text messages throughout the race from each other.
I love that.
Yes.
Run Disney, you're awesome.
But,
because we sign each other up for each other's run tracking.
Yes.
In addition to some family members, and now you can get on the desktop computer
and you can actually follow it on the map.
It's so cool.
So I'm just happy that I got to experience the half marathon at my own pace, my own personal pace, because I didn't know what to expect. All I knew is from what you said, because you did the half marathon. I did track and cross country in middle school and in high school. So I've had running experiences before, but I had a little break from that, so I'm very thankful that she brought me back to running, but I never ran these distances. Now I can't stop.
It's an addiction.
Yes. But I had so much fun, and I remember thinking, I want to stop for the characters, But I had that time in my head that you were like, 3 hours is a good time, and it is a great time. And I'm like, well, I just want to get to 3 hours, and I don't want to get passed by the balloon ladies because I've never seen them, but I've only infamously heard about them. So I'm like, okay.
It's like a myth. Are they real?
Yes.
Yes, they are real.
Yes.
I saw them in real life.
And I was just so nervous because I just didn't know what to expect. And so I didn't see my first characters until I got to Magic Kingdom because I was worried about time and getting swept or whatever.
I stopped for the hag in that one, and that's probably like my favorite character I've ever stopped for in a Disney race.
Mm-hmm.
Insert picture here. And it was so much fun because I was dressed as Maleficent, and then she was the evil queen, and it was just like, it was great.
My first character stop was the Queen of Hearts. And then right after that, the evil stepsisters with the evil stepmom. That was so much fun. And just running through the castle, and pretty sure that moment was what officially got me hooked to wanting to do another race. Yeah, so I finished the half marathon surprisingly in 2 hours and 30 minutes. I had so much fun, and I got to see her finish, and you did awesome even though the ending.
Yeah, I hit about 10 miles, and I remember the moment of texting Mama and being like, I don't know if I can do this anymore because I've not trained correctly and I'm about to die. Not literally die, but I pulled my hamstring, and I remember the feeling of pulling it, and it was just not a pleasant experience. But I finished.
I love doing half marathons, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of try doing a full marathon. So I knew in September of 2018, when we were training for the Wine Dine, this is the shirt that she's wearing right here, we did the challenge, and I knew with training I felt way stronger than I did before, and I'm so happy I did. That was probably one of the best decisions because that race was so much fun. The only thing that I will say to you guys is make sure you put in the training for it, because I only got up to 16 miles before I did it because, you know, I had the thought, but what's another 10 miles, right?
Right. And I remember I judged you so hard.
No, she did. She's like, you should have trained at least 18 miles. You're going to feel it at 18 miles. And I will say she wasn't wrong. I did start feeling my muscles getting tightened around mile 18. And I slowed down. I started slowing down a little bit around mile 20. And then mile 23 is what, I won't say got me, but
it's when you got hurt, right?
I hurt my knee, but you know what? It's okay because I finished it. I've never been so happy to see that mile 25 marker. And it was so sad because I knew there was going to be a whole lot of characters around World Showcase. And I didn't stop for any of them because I was like, you know what? It kind of hurt to stop and walk more than it hurt to run. So I just kind of continued running. And I still do not regret it. And I had a friend that cheered me on. She met me at ESPN World of Sports. And then at the finish line, thank you, Cindy. Hi. I love you. But yeah, so I'm so excited that that she's going to be experiencing her first marathon. We have the blood of a runner.
Yeah.
I truly believe that we're going to keep going with it. And we're having fun with it. And I'm so excited that I'm not only going to be having my third marathon by January, but next year I'll be doing my first ever ultra marathon, and I'm super excited about that.
I also think it's really cool just the progression of
where we started to where we are now.
And how much we research now. And we're also venturing outside of Disney.
But like, I will say this, to see her journey to how far she's come, and now that she's had a trainer for how many months now?
I have had a running coach since March, and it has been an amazing journey. And you've even told me I've grown more she's ever seen me, and I'm approaching 4 years of running. So yeah. I feel like, especially over the past 8 months, where I really started identifying as a runner and calling myself a runner in casual conversation, because I didn't do that any before. It just felt like foreign. And I really think since I made that switch in my mindset, it's just, there's so much peace that comes with it.
Yeah.
And for me, whenever I go running, when I'm out there listening to my music and in the zone, it is the only time where my mind goes quiet. And like, I don't think about anything. Mm-hmm. And I am such a busybody. And
Yes.
I'm always going. And running is the only time that my brain really gets a break. Not that I feel like I need a break, but it's just so welcome of just like, it becomes my therapy.
Yeah.
And, you know, you get out there and you run and it's just like, I can do anything. It just clears my mind. It makes every problem, it doesn't make problems go away, but it just lets me separate myself from them.
So I'm the opposite. So when I go running, my brain doesn't turn off. It actually has this like clarity, and I have some of my best thoughts, especially when I'm preparing for an audition. Like, because I'm an actress, and one of my things that I like to do before I go to an audition or prepare is I like to go running, because I get to really think through, and I don't know why, but it's some of my best thoughts, some of my best ideas kind of come up. Either that or writing scripts or so much more.
Something creative.
Yeah, something creative. And it's become one of my favorite things, because it's so funny. I'll have a thought and not even recognize what mile marker I'm on. I'm like, oh, I'm up mile marker 4? What?
Or it's already here.
Yeah. Like, but now I'm like, I enjoy my long runs.
It just rejuvenates me. And I love the feeling of, and one of the things, especially in quarantine, that running has made me, it's made me feel so grateful to have a body that can run.
Mm-hmm.
And it being able to breathe in the fresh air, especially with quarantine and not being able to leave the house or anything like that, it's made me appreciate the way God made me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have legs that move. I have strong legs that can go now a 12-minute pace. Because over quarantine, I've shaved like a minute and a half, almost 2 minutes off of my time. Yay! Yay me! Anyways. I'm just, you know, I feel so much better about myself and about the problems of the world and everything whenever I'm outside.
I run because I need it. It's a need. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
I
much a
totally
need.
agree.
And it gives me so much clarity. I just find it so much fun. And the training runs just brings you to that moment when you get to the finish line, everything becomes worth it.
And since we started training together almost a year now, where we're each other's accountability partner and we're waking each other up and we're training on the same day, it's made our friendship closer.
Yeah, and stronger.
And stronger, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we would have times where we just high five in the middle of our run when we would pass each other, and like that's the fuel that makes you keep going.
Yeah. I do think if I did this journey on my own, I'm sure I would have gotten to the point where I am now, that I absolutely love it. But I think with your encouragement and your knowledge of it as well has brought me to that point a lot faster.
And we're travel buddies now.
Yes.
Because we can put up with each other for a long period of time.
Because I will admit, we're also opposites again in the respect that I'm very much an introvert.
And I'm an extrovert. Surprise!
So I have a lot more quieter moments. We're very much opposites, but I think that's why everything works. So that's why we like to bring travel and running together, because they're two of our favorite things.
It's the peanut butter and jelly.
So all in all, it's always about putting that next foot forward and keep going, because you're gonna have your highs, you're gonna have your lows,
and you're gonna have somebody there.
Yeah.
And if you don't have anybody there, we'll be there.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We're very excited about the future that is coming.
And we just know, even as uncertain as the times are right now, we're gonna be running, we're gonna be traveling soon, eventually, and we're gonna have Disney.
Alright guys, if you like this video, go ahead and press that like button.
Subscribe.
And thank you guys for watching.
Bye! Hang on, there's a...
I know.
Go away! You're not in the vlog!
He wants to be. That was so spooky.